Welcome back, Wolfpack. Thank you for joining me once again. I'll howl, but I don't think I want to hurt your eardrums. Anyways, what is this about? Well, remember that video I made about Ghostbusters 3? Well, there's been some flack since then. Not from my video, but from the announcement under production of this movie. Anyways, I'm going to fill you guys in on what happened here. Leslie Jones. Actually, someone even commented in my video about this, so I'm responding to this. She went on Twitter commenting about this. Now I'm going to paraphrase here because some of the stuff she says is too hot for YouTube apparently. But basically it goes like this. Okay, she went to Twitter. I'm going to paraphrase here obviously. Basically saying so insulting, like we didn't count. It's something Trump would do. Trump voice. Gonna redo Ghostbusters. Better than with men. We'll be huge. Those women ain't Ghostbusters. So annoying. I don't care. I'm saying something. So, okay, there's several things wrong with this. And I've been noticing this more than just Ghostbusters. I've been noticing this all around. It's so easy to catalog everything into Trump. Your back's going to ache and you're going to blame Trump. Enough is enough. We voted him in. Whether you like it or not, we voted him in. So, and I can create a whole separate video about the Electoral College and how useless it is, etc., etc. That's for another day, another video. I might do that because there's a lot to talk about with that. But what is this about? Basically, she doesn't agree with Ghostbusters 3 being made because she feels that it dissolves what they've worked. And they've even been replies saying that they did good work, they did a good job. The recent Ghostbusters that was made had a huge budget, and even if you strip everything away, it flopped. It made over $226 million, but the budget was too high, too much special effects, I guess. The cost was too much, and it actually didn't do so well in the box office as well. I mean, you think, wow, how can it? Well, $226 million versus how much it cost, that's probably where it failed. That's one thing. Second thing is, the reason why it actually made the amount of, and I'm going to just say this outright, the reason why it made the money that it did was because everyone that was a Ghostbusters fan was like, ooh, a new Ghostbusters movie, I got to check this out. And even when that first trailer came out, it was so bad. The trailer was so bad that everybody who watched it was like, what is this? Is this a joke? Is this are they trolling us? Is this serious? And once they realized it was a serious trailer, people were like, I'm not gonna watch this, and people start banning it outright. So that's the other thing, that the trailer was bad. Despite that, a lot of hardcore fans are like, well, I'm gonna watch this anyways, like myself. Well, actually, I didn't watch it, but it wasn't because I was boycotting or anything. It was just timing. It had nothing to do with this. It was just had to do with timing. So I didn't watch it in theaters. I did watch it. Actually, part of it on, I forget where it was, but I eventually did see it. And as a hardcore, I mean, I am the fan base. I am a representative of the actual Ghostbusters fan base, in a sense that I love the movie. I love all the nuances. I can tell you what went wrong, what went right, the whole thing. And I went into it in the previous video about that, so I'm not going to get into that. But I will say that Ghostbusters movie was okay. As I said in my previous video, it was a comedy that had some dramatic parts. I won't go into more detail with that, but if you watch that one, actually I'll post it up here, somewhere around here. Yeah, maybe right here. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that being said, and everything that was around that with the cameos and all that stuff, it was an okay movie. It had some funny parts, had some cringy parts, some like rolling your eyes in a good way. Someone was like, I don't even know if this works. Someone was like a little tryhard. There's a bunch of different things, so you can't really pinpoint it saying it wasn't a horrible movie, but it wasn't the best movie. And I also go into what it was missing. And again, check out that other video. But then when I saw this, basically having a hissy fit over, we didn't matter. Look, lady, you were an actress in a film that made a lot of money. Granted, it didn't make enough money for it cost, and technically it flopped in the box office, even though it made $226 million. But you got paid to film in a movie that a lot of people love, the genre, You should be thankful that you were even there. Just the audacity of saying such things. It's very. I'm going to even strip away the personal side, set aside all that stuff. It's unprofessional. You film in a movie, the movie's done, closed, or even in film technology, like end scene. That's the clappers. End scene. You're done. Your responsibility, your duties for that film is done. Your promotional time is done. You get your paycheck. You move on. If someone makes a movie of that movie and doesn't add you in, oh well. If they add you into it, great. But don't be like going on Twitter and just flaming people. As I said, it's unprofessional. It really is. And to add on to that, the director of the 2016, I like how they say the Ghostbusters 2016. They're not even trying to call it 3, and they shouldn't at this point. Paul Feig defends Leslie Jones' comments. And I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to have to paraphrase this too. An absolute, honest-to-God, never-ending supply of bull and hate from these trolls. I don't think he understands what trolling means. But anyways, moving on. Leslie spoke her truth, and I support her. I'm very open to Jason's new version of Ghostbusters, but I'm also sad that our 2016 team may not get to bust again. We all are. We are forever proud of our movie. Okay, now, that's okay. Except for the first part. The whole ending supply of bull, because, honestly, you didn't look at what the fans really wanted. And that's why I don't think he even gets it. I'm hoping that Jason Reitman, by the way, Jason Reitman is Ivan Reitman's son who's making this new movie. So it's not Ivan directly, but influence is there. The history is there. And more importantly, the prodding and the sticks say, do this, don't do this, is there from his father. Whether or not he'll say, well, I'm going to do my own direction kind of thing, that remains to be seen. Okay, is gross over 229? Okay, 229 million, not 226. Right, 3 million. It's still considered a loss for Sony, who invested so much in its budget and marketing costs, blah, blah, blah. I won't get into the details of who is in it. And also the comments say it's something Trump would do. That has nothing to do with this. Trump has nothing to do with this. Yeah, and someone else tweeted like, oh boy, I thought that the Ghost Bros got all their hate out of the system 3 years ago, but nope. Comments suggest there's more bull where they came from. It's because you're not listening. That's what it is. It's because you're spouting all this stuff on Twitter and you're not listening to what people are saying. And of course people are going to keep on reacting. As a hardcore fan, I love Ghostbusters 1 and 2. If someone's going to ask me which one is my favorite, probably 1 over 2, just because it was new. That's it. I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to do analysis of that. That's going to be a whole other video. So I had high hopes when I heard Ghostbusters was making another movie. And I saw the trailer and I was like, nope. I even said, I'm not even going to bother with this. I'm not even going to look at this. This is a mistake. This is my raw reaction here. This is a mistake. This is a travesty. I'm not going to watch the movie. Now, I don't know about other people's boycotts and all that stuff. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just saw the trailer and this is what I thought. I'm not going to see the movie. I don't even care they could cast as all female. That's not the point. You can make an awesome movie with the right cast. For instance, what would have been good, and people would have loved this, if you're going to go that route, Sigourney Weaver would have been one of the top 4 of the Ghostbusters. It would make sense. Maybe Melnitz, the secretary, if she was like the second one. If you had women from the previous 2 movies in this, then it would make sense. People are like, oh, so they're kind of taking on the mantle from the guys and going forth and doing kind of, maybe they're stuck in it. It could have been something where, and this is me just projecting an idea for a movie. Let's say the original Ghostbusters was stuck in the ghost world, and it had to be, and it's up to the women to find them, kind of thing. So the Ghostbusters, like the male Ghostbusters, are stuck somewhere, and the women have to take on the mantle, learn what they do, and you can still have the funny parts of trying to figure out a proton pack and all that stuff. There is a golden idea right there. I just made a movie. And that was not just few minutes, I just top of my head, just thinking that just this moment when I'm filming this right now was better than the plot of this movie. I don't remember what happened in this movie. I don't even know. I remember seeing a lot of ghosts with a lot of special effects, but I don't even know what the movie is about. The first one, I know exactly what the plot is. I can probably quote some of the lines there. The second one, Painting. All I have to say is painting. I'm not going to get into details because that's an analysis. But I can't, and that's the thing. I can't remember anything about this movie. Now, Ghostbusters 3, from what I've heard so far, besides everyone seeing Ecto 1 and the little snippet trailer there, it's unknown if Ernie Hudson's going to be in it or not yet. I really hope he is, because he just reflected he was like the real man in the group. Like you have, like the funny guy, the scientist guy, and this all other world, and he's kind of like us, where how we would react to if we're suddenly thrown in this. We're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I'm going to do the best I can, And what was that? I forget that line. It was like, I don't think this is like worth $13 an hour or something like that. I forget what it was, but anyways, you get the point. He's like us being thrown into this world, so he needs to be in this. And more news on this, which is actually just an update. It looks like it's predominantly going to be a kids cast. So the new Ghostbusters are going to be like 12 and 13-year-old kids. And someone actually threw up a picture of Stranger Things when the 4 kids were wearing Halloween costumes as the Ghostbusters. And I kind of like that idea. I mean, it's not going to be those exact kids, obviously, but it would actually be, if they could do that, that would be really cool to get. But it would cross too many worlds. People would it'd be funny, but then it would kind of, I won't say ruin things, but it would stress the integrity of both media. It would detract away from the awesomeness of Stranger Things. By the way, if you haven't seen Stranger Things, it's a great show, but warning, it is spooky and dramatic. So for lighter constitutions, you may not really want this. But for those that can handle a little bit of spook and scare and kind of what's out there kind of thing, it's a great series. It's definitely a great series. I recommend that highly. And I'm waiting for whatever's coming next with that. But that being said, that little scene when they're going like trick or treating and they're all wearing they even arguing about like who's Winston and all that stuff. That was hilarious. But that kind of, if they were to grab those kids, it'd be funny at first, but then people were like, well, I want to see them in Stranger Things. I don't want to see them in Ghostbusters. And same thing, Ghostbusters, they would want to see someone new. But right now, it seems to be like 4 different types of kids, like socially awkward, brainiac, kind of melange of different personalities, taking up the new mantle of Ghostbusters. So they're probably going to be the proteges learning, I guess. Which is kind of ironic that the director is also the original director's son. So there's that connection. Okay, and just so you know that the final production of this movie looks like they're aiming for the summer of 2020. So we still got a year and change left for it. But this is promising and hopeful. And if they get all the right people together, this could be a really good movie. I'm crossing my fingers on this. And I think, as a lot of other hardcore fans out there, we're kind of just sitting there waiting to see what comes of it. It's like, okay, we got disappointed. Make up for it. This should be your time to make up for it. Can you make up for it? Let's see if you're gonna deliver. We're now in the wait. It's gonna be now or never. If they make this movie, they're gonna have to make it good, and they're gonna have to really catch that spark. If they don't, I know, at least as myself as fans, like, we're done. I'm done, because too many fingers in the pie is going to spoil the pie. So at this point, if they mess it up again, I'm just going to enjoy the first 2 movies and move on to other things. But if they do a really good job with this, the franchise is back on. They'll make a lot of money. So if anybody from the production studios are watching this, just consider what I said. This is not just an entertainment thing. This is a business thing, and you got to think critically of who your audience really is. More specifically, who has the buying power for this, not just entertaining. You can do both. When Ghostbusters came out, it was entertaining first, and then the franchises and the toys and all that stuff and the money in the back end came a lot later, but it came. So Now I see a little snippet here on the side about Bill and Ted 3. That's also another favorite movie of mine. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and well, it looks like Bill and Ted 3 might be a real thing. I'll have to investigate this further and look at this more. But that'll be another video. So that'll be a teaser for the next video when I find out more. Anyways, thank you Wolfpack for stopping by, checking this out. Hopefully you found something interesting, entertaining, and informative. If you're a hardcore fan like me, the best we could say is that we're just hopeful. That's all we can do. Anyways, catch you guys later. Peace out.